Hi everyone. I am proudly wearing an attire that is a folklore classic dress of a city called Kermanshah in northwest of Iran, and I'm going to be teaching you a food from that region. This food is a stew with lamb shank, and it is called khoresh halal, or the stew of lamb shank with almond slivers, as you can see. Other ingredients that you as Canadians may not be familiar with are these dried lemons, which we call Limoo Amani, and it could be bought from any ethnic store or Middle Eastern store. Another ingredient is these guys over here, which is called barberry or zereshk. Zereshk is from the family of berries. It is a little sour. Usually in this recipe they use the black version of it, but the black version of barberry is very hard to find, so we are going to make it with the red barberry today. The next amazing ingredient is this saffron, which comes from the saffron flower, and it adds color and a wonderful aroma to our Iranian foods, which we usually use it for most food. And usually we put a little bit of this powder or this flour in a contraption like this, and we sort of grind it until it turns into a powder. Then we will mix it with hot water, and we add it to many of our dishes. So I will show you how it's done. I just want to show you how we prepare saffron. I usually put my saffron in a container like this and mix it up with hot water. So this is about 2 grams of saffron, and it yields a large amount. Saffron is very expensive. It's this much of it is about $7. So I keep it just like so. When I'm done using maybe about this much of it today, the rest will go in the fridge for our next cooking. I know that you're probably anxious to go ahead and for me to show you the recipe and get on with it. However, I just want to go over the history of the city of Kermanshah. Kermanshah is a city in northwest of Iran with amazing mountains. In fact, there are maybe about hundreds of carvings within those mountains made by the hand of people throughout history. From the Achaemenian to Sasanian to many eras, different eras, you will find carvings that are amazing in those mountains. Even there are a statue of the Greek, one of the Greek goddesses, which is Hercules, are in those mountains. It's quite a scene to see. The other thing is that this city is known for its very dazzling garments that they make. Many of them are made with sequins, many of the dresses, and I remember that as a child, each time we traveled to that city, the only thing that I really remembered was the shine and the dazzle of the sequins and the beads and the beautiful dresses of the women in that area. People in that city also, and also in the entire province of Kermanshah and Kurdistan, which is the neighboring province, have special folkloric dances, and because of the history that they had, having to overcome many oppressions, most of the dances they have show unity, and they give a very strong message of holding hands together, staying together, stamping their feet, and it is truly a scene to see. So I'm hoping that one day you have enough time to at least go on YouTube and look up the city of Kermanshah, the mountain of Bisotun, and and the Kurdish dances. In a large pot, we are warming up our cooking oil. Here I'm using avocado oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, we are adding the onions. This is one large onion that is finely chopped. We will saute the onions until it's golden. In the meanwhile, we're adding the turmeric, about a couple of teaspoonfuls of that, plus lemon and pepper. Remember that this stew is supposed to be a little sour, so the taste of lemon is expected. It is quite a lemony kind of stew. Here I have about 500 grams of lamb shank. You could also make this stew with veal, but traditionally it is made with lamb shank. So we're sauteing the lamb shank until it is no longer red. And to take away the smell of the meat and give it more flavor, we're adding a couple of cinnamon sticks, and the hot water we're adding to completely cover the meat. So this is about at least 2 cups of water. So we're going to allow this stew to simmer. Melt the butter in a separate skillet. I just want to explain that some of the preparations that we do for this food has to be done at least about 4 hours ahead, or maybe even the night before. This is a bottle of rose water, which has an amazing aroma of rose because it came from rose. So I have soaked these almond slivers about 5 hours ago in the rose water, and I'm going to be draining it before I saute it in butter. We saute these almond slivers for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes or until they're slightly more softened. And just have to remember that the barberries should not be cooking for a long time. We are only lightly sauteing the barberries. So make sure before you add it, you are satisfied that it's not going to be needing a lot of cooking or sauteing. So now we're adding 1 can of tomato paste and mix it all well. Let everything heat up together and come together. And I have decided to be very generous using the saffron, so half a bottle of the bottle that I'm showing you, so at least 1 gram of saffron. Saffron has an amazing taste and smell and aroma. So once the meat is cooked, which is about 2 hours later, we are removing the cinnamon sticks. And now we're adding the sauce to the stew, and we are going to let everything boil together and get thickened for maybe at least half an hour. I am also adding the Amani lemons, the dried lemons, and since our meat is already cooked, we can go ahead and add the salt. Just remember, you cannot add the salt to meat at the beginning, otherwise it will not cook, it will not soften. And then once half an hour is passed, the entire stew has come together, as you can see. So before I get the food out, just want to have some fresh herbs ready. We don't make salad. We don't usually eat this food with salad, but rather have it with fresh herbs such as basil and radishes. So I have some fresh basil here that I'm going to wash and add it to my plate and enjoy it with the food. Okay, our yummy stew is ready. It is to be served over top of rice, saffron rice, as we can see. So usually this food goes over here, just like this. And a little bit of rice and stew will mix up, and bon appetit.